Warning, this video contains strong language and graphic photos. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, my Hooked honeys, and welcome back to Hooked. My name is Leanne, and if you're new here, Hooked is basically where we tell some true crime stories and do some crochet projects together. And on today's episode, we will be talking about the case of Rachel Anderson, and also we'll be just kind of finishing up the cardigan that we started last week. Oh, I have to show you guys something because I'm always doing something. Hold on. We love progress, guys, okay? We love us some progress. Yes. Yes, we got my good sis Manny here. And y'all had the nerve to make a clutch with it. Just wait till I put her on. Just wait till I put this on. I'm going to Nashville in May, and guys. And look, I had the nerve to add a little button on there. Don't play with her and this crochet hook, okay? Thanks, Manny. Thanks. I went with some of my friends and we went candle making, and I made a candle we love. And y'all, I named it Crochet Time. It smells so good. So we're gonna go ahead and light. We're gonna light this bad boy up. And let's get into it, right? So, y'all hear that? Popping? I've already finished the front panels and the back panel of the jacket, and then of course we did one of the sleeves last week, sorry. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the other sleeve on this episode. And the only thing after I do the other sleeve, the only thing I really have left is to do the like cropped part at the bottom and then stitch everything together. So I was gonna do the back panel on today's episode, and then I got a little carried away. So forget it, I'll just do the other sleeve. We'll be starting on row 5, which is the 1 double crochet and 1 stitch, 2 in the next stitch, and just kind of repeat that until the row is over. That's just basically where I'm starting with this sleeve. January 29th, Rachel Anderson didn't show up to work at Shaw Davis Funeral Home. She also didn't answer her phone, which was really unlike her. Of course, this worried her fellow employees, and the supervisor at the office asked one of her coworkers that was already out doing deliveries that day to go and check on her. Well, her coworker gets there and they knock on the door and they didn't get an answer. But it seems to me like this coworker had an uneasy feeling about this, because instead of just leaving and telling, the office supervisor that no one answered, he went down to the rental office and explained the situation. Now, because Rachel's coworker or the rental office employee weren't really allowed to just go into the apartment, they called the police. Tell me why. The police clearly didn't look, and we'll get into why I say that here in a second. After Rachel's roommate allowed her friend Jonathan Kennedy to go up into the apartment to see if he could find Rachel or even something that could locate her, he immediately saw that the apartment was out of order. There were things like just out of place, just everything was in disarray. Well, he continued to look around and came to a closet that was in the bedroom, right? So he tries to open this closet, but he later testified that it felt like something was pushing back. And after a struggle, he was able to open the door, and that's when he found Rachel's body that kind of just fell out of the closet door. He tried to help her, but soon realized that she was dead. He swiftly went outside and notified the officer that was outside, Frank Scolanofi. Right, don't judge me. So, let's get into this, right? Because how is it normal Like, what is normal police protocol? Like, maybe I just don't know anything about that, but no one knows what happened to Rachel. So why in the world would they let like a friend go up to the apartment? And how did they not find her? Like, how did they not find, where was the police work? Like, where was the actual police investigation? If that friend would have never came, would they even have found the body like as soon as they did? And that poor Jonathan dude, he probably traumatized from finding his friend like dead inside of a closet in her own home. Like, and the way he found her was a whole nother thing as well. Oh my gosh. It, again, what? I'm so confused as to how the police officers didn't locate the body before Jonathan did. Like, come again? So, police entered the apartment once again, and this time they saw Rachel's body partially covered with a blanket. There was also a shirt wrapped around her head and some type of like black cloth that was knotted around her neck and like shoved in her mouth. So, after the autopsy was performed, it was determined that Rachel had been stabbed and strangled. She had lacerations to her scalp and fractures to the base of her skull. She was stabbed with so much force that a piece of her skull broke off. This is crazy. And what actually killed, like the actual kill wound, was a stab wound to her head and neck. A rape kit was also performed on her, and they found someone's DNA. Now, this person had already been in the system before, so they had identified him as Anthony Pardon. Anthony was also on other several parts of Rachel's body. Yeah, he was doing it. January 28th, 2018, around 8 p.m., Anthony broke into Rachel's apartment, forcing her to go upstairs. She was downstairs, and when he broke in, of course, he was on the first floor, and he forced her to go upstairs. He hog-tied her, basically using, like, seize the opportunity moment things that was in the room, like a blow dryer cord and a curling ironer cord. He, this man, y'all, also had the nerve to gag her as well. Like, why are you even in her home, let alone doing all of these things? Let's talk about being creative. When she bought that blow dryer, I'm pretty sure she would have never thought it would be used to tie her up and torture her, basically. He tortured her, forcing her to give him her PIN number to her credit card. After he raped her, then he strangled her with the cord of an electrical blanket. He put Rachel's body in a closet, leaving her naked from the waist down, and the electrical blanket was tied around her neck and the doorknob, which explained why Jonathan experienced such a struggle with trying to open the closet door so much. Well, after brutally taking Rachel's life, Anthony, stole her car, her debit and credit cards. He used the cards at several stores in the Columbus area. He also gave the credit card to his sister and took his sister shopping. Anthony's sister didn't learn that the card belonged to a murder victim until she seen the news later that night. And Anthony didn't stop there. No. He decided to give a homeless man Rachel's debit card, saying his girlfriend was trying to take his money after a breakup. He even offered the man a hotel room if he used the card. He gave him the PIN number and drove away. On February 9th, 2018, Anthony was arrested by SWAT in the Linden area. Okay, so like, you guys remember that episode I did with Taquan, and he was talking about that street, Loretta? Yeah, Loretta is in the Linden area. We just gonna correlate the two and put a little, yeah. So he was in jail and held on a $5 million bond. Anthony was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for aggravated murder and another life without the possibility of parole for the rape, and 63 years for the aggravated burglary, kidnapping, and the aggravated robbery charges. And these sentences were to be served consecutively. So, back to back to back to back. It sounds like there's water running and it's after midnight. What is going on? So let's talk about Rachel. Rachel Anderson was born January 28th, 1994 in Warren, Ohio. And she just seemed like an all around nice and determined person. She graduated from Warren G. Harding High School, where she was a part of the National Honor Society. And she played soccer, volleyball, and was in the band. So just in high school, it seemed like Shorty had a lot going for herself, right? Rachel knew she wanted to become a funeral home director and went to Youngstown State University. Of course, she made the dean's list, but she didn't stop there. After she went to the Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science. She graduated in 2016 with a bachelor's degree in mortuary science. At this point, Rachel was a member of the Ohio Funeral Directors Association. She moved to Columbus and started a apprenticeship at the Shaw Davis Funeral Home. So basically, she had her mindset. That's what she was going to do. There was no holding back. She took the steps. She worked hard. She went straight to reaching and achieving her dreams. I love to see it. And at the time of her murder, Rachel was approaching the end of her apprenticeship, and she was going to be offered a job at the Shaw Davis Funeral Home. And unfortunately, her beautiful life was taken away way too soon. And you guys want to hear the even worst part about all of this? This happened on her 24th birthday. Yes, Anthony, who is a piece of absolute human garbage, killed this beautiful girl on her 24th birthday. She didn't even get to get where she needed to get. She was getting there. And you just had to come in and fuck shit up. Of course, this wasn't Anthony's first offense, because if it was, that man needs serious help. Or the chair. Let's be honest. But it was so easy for investigators to determine whose DNA they had discovered at the crime scene because Anthony was already in the system. At the age of 14, he raped an 8-year-old girl. In 1980, he was charged with raping a 9-month-old baby. Yep, a 9-month-old baby. You heard that right. And not only was just a baby, this was his foster sibling. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm broken. What are we doing? Why would you do that? That's not okay. It's not okay. Anyways, Anthony did plenty of other things, and he was declared a sexual predator in 1990. But my thing is, how the hell didn't this man get the chair a long time ago? Or, not the chair, but the lethal injection, whatever it was that they were doing. Like, he raped a 9-month-old baby. He should have gotten the worst possible sentence he could get after doing something like that. Because you're raping a 9-month-old baby. What is wrong with you? What? I'm broken. And if he would have gotten what he deserved after doing that, Rachel probably wouldn't have never been in that situation and would have never, died. Possibly could have still been here if he, it just always surprises me how people can do certain things and then still walk away, with what? How are you just living your life after raping a 9-month-old baby? How is that possible? What are we doing? Well, my hooked honeys, that was the horrific case of Rachel Anderson. If you want to see the finished product of the cardigan that I am making, which I probably should be done probably towards the end of the week. So if you want to see that, feel free to follow me on Instagram at HookedWTrueCrime. And make sure you subscribe because I'll be here for you every Wednesday. Love y'all. Bye.